Last month, Kelly Ripa hinted at the possibility of retiring. Now, she's taking a break to show fans what her absence could mean for Live. For the second day running, the daytime TV legend did not appear on Live with Kelly and Mark on August 5th. In place of Ripa, who was absent from Monday, August 4th's show, special guest Jenna Dwan joined Mark Consuelos. The rest of Ripa's shows for this week are canceled. Her return time from her brief summer vacation is still up in the air. Worry not, fans, for this is her usual time for a little break from hosting. A week after her husband's 4-episode absence, Ripa asked for a brief vacation. While on assignment from July 29 to August 1st, Consuelos was not available. David Muir, Jerry Unnell, Carson Kressley, and Steve Patterson were the guest hosts who covered him. On Monday, though, Live resumed and Ripa was conspicuously missing. Mark instead co-hosted with Nobody Wants This actress Jackie Tohn. Consuelo returned and gave a little update, but he didn't say where his wife was right now. After openly exploring the possibility of leaving the show permanently last month, Ripa has decided to take some time off. An interview with the Hope and Faith actor and her buddy was included on an episode of Let's Talk Off Camera podcast that aired on July 16. Before Ripa celebrated her 25th anniversary as Live's host, she asked her friend Oprah Winfrey if she should resign. It was obvious to Winfrey that she still didn't think her companion should leave just yet. "I've been at the talk show game for 25 years, so I'm asking for a friend," said Ripa. "If I were giving you advice, I'd say stay put because you and Mark are doing great," said Winfrey. "To what extent were you aware that you needed to release it?" "Put it off," the billionaire said. "Don't even consider it because the reach you have, the audience you've built, and the family you've created, both inside the studio and in the rest of the world, is more vital now than ever before." Ripa acknowledged that her chat program brings joy and solace to her admirers, particularly those in healthcare facilities, and she partially agreed. She made the observation that the show provides a lighthearted diversion from serious or difficult subjects, much like appointment viewing in chemotherapy laboratories and treatment rooms. "Although we may never meet," she acknowledged, "I must keep in mind that there are individuals relying on the program and me at this very moment. However, the question of whether or not it is time always crosses my mind." Kelly Ripa has been a mainstay of American daytime television for almost 20 years as co-host of Live, bringing honesty, warmth, and comedy into the homes of viewers. Her recent absence from Live with Kelly and Mark has many people wondering if it's a typical summer vacation or an indication that she is almost retiring. Concerns mounted when Kelly was conspicuously absent from this week's program, given that she had previously spoken about leaving the show. The combination of her abrupt departure and Mark Consuelos' recent vacation has led to speculation over their future together. Even though ABC hasn't announced when she'll be back, viewers are hoping this is more of a vacation than a farewell. When Kelly didn't appear with Mark on August 4th, viewers were taken aback. Glow and Nobody Wants It star Jackie Tohn is a well-known comedian and actress. This person served as a substitute co-host. When the show returned on Tuesday, August 5th, even another surprise was in store. The roles of host and dancer were switched up. Actress Jenna Dwan, whose credits include Step Up and Rookie, 1999. The official schedule states that Kelly will be unavailable for the remainder of the week, and that Mark and a rotating cast of guest co-hosts will fill in for her. A prime example is Rita Ora, whose August 6th studio performance will serve to further highlight Kelly's absence. No official statement or return date has been announced by either Ripa or ABC, leaving fans to wonder why she took this vacation and if it is related to something more serious. Just 1 week before Kelly was to leave, Mark asked for time off. Famous people such as Riverdale actor Jerry Unnell, Twin Cities Live host Steve Patterson, fashion legend Carson Kressley, and ABC News anchor David Muir were guest hosts from July 29th to August 1st. The fact that the husband and wife team has become such a vital part of their audience's daily routine was made abundantly clear at this time of change for Live with Kelly and Mark. While Mark's scheduled absence last week was to enable filming and the promotional tour for their new ESPN docuseries, Running with the Wolves, it was nonetheless an inconvenience. When Kelly subsequently vanished from the desk, viewers noticed something was off. It came crashing down like an unexplained personal day that turned into a week-long break instead of a planned project. Speculation reached a fever pitch on August 4th, when viewers tuned in hoping to see Kelly's familiar face welcoming them back from the weekend. Mark Consuelo and Jackie Tohn were the ones they ended up finding instead. Tone, an actress and comedian who became famous for her role in Nobody Wants It and for her endearing charisma and quick wit. Because of this, the event had an air of high-energy chaos. Her appearance alone signaled that this week would be anything from ordinary, despite the fact that she was a competent and amusing fill-in. Questions started to flame up social media threads. Did Kelly feel ill? Is this some sort of unexpected family crisis? On a darker note, had she been hinting at her retirement for a few weeks before this? And this was only the beginning? Mark, ever the professional, acted as captain with his signature charisma. But he made a point of not explaining why his wife was missing, instead providing general references to her need for a break. This lack of clarity has only served to enthuse a devoted following that finds significance in every look and remark. There was an ear-piercing quiet. While Ton and Consuelos engaged in lighthearted conversation about summer heat and internet trends, the vacant chair that typically belonged to the morning TV queen cast a significant shadow. Through Tuesday, August 5th, the pattern had been verified. Jenna Dwan, who was in The Rookie and has a background in both dancing and acting, was named co-host. Live audiences loved Dwan because of her positive attitude and the obvious synergy she has with Mark. The show's impressive ability to seamlessly incorporate guest hosts was on full display throughout her presence. Dr. Samson Davis and the summer school class went over some emergency room best practices, which they covered. Perfectly timed, considering how worried the audience is about Kelly's location. Later on, Dwan shared on Instagram how much fun the day had been. The show continued to feature a steady stream of high-profile replacements, transforming it into a revolving door of celebrity talent, despite the great sentiment expressed, which failed to calm the nerves of devoted Ripa fans who were starting to feel like children seeing a step-up move. British musician and TV personality Rita Ora filled in on August 6th. The energy was very different with Ora, who is known for her fearless style and outspoken demeanor. She was more like a pop diva than a morning show host. Later in the program, she performed in the studio, where she entertained the audience and took their minds off the fact that the show's host was still absent. The specificity of the live formula was brought to light by contrasting Aura's high-octane presence with Kelly's typical home coffee talk atmosphere. What matters most is the quality of the conversation between the two individuals involved. The impressive guest list kept rolling in as the week drew to a close on Thursday and Friday. Still, nothingness persisted. On Thursday, the lineup was set to feature Elle Duncan of ESPN and comic Carol Lever. On Friday, it was to feature actress Katie Lau and impressionist Matt Friend. The unique flavors of each guest host were showcased. With the ever-changing ensemble, the once daily ritual became more of a variety show, with contributions from sports-savvy Duncan, Lever, and Lau. The departure of Kelly Ripa violated the daily psychological contract for an audience that seeks solace in regularity. One must consider the couple's recent tumultuous year in order to make sense of this protracted absence. Moving from its Upper West Side home for many years to a brand new, state-of-the-art building at Disney's new headquarters in Hudson Square, Live completed a historic shift in April 2025. Both practically and emotionally, the relocation was enormous. Rekindling her romance with Mark decades ago, Kelly lived practically her entire adult life in the old studio at 7 Lincoln Square. It was also the place where she raised her children in the wings. She freely admitted that leaving that place was traumatic for her. An emotional burden of ending a chapter and the physical toll of transferring a production that had been idle for decades probably added up to a gradual weariness that not even a weekend could alleviate. In addition to their already hectic schedules, they took on even more work with the premiere of Running with the Wolves, a documentary series that follows their ownership of an Italian soccer team. Managing a sports franchise, filming in Italy, and participating in press junkets are not exactly the usual side gigs for a morning talk show presenter. Mark had requested time off the week before to handle these matters, so Kelly was left to run the show with her own cast of guest hosts. After Mark came back, the ball was probably transferred to Kelly, and she just needed a moment to collect herself away from the cameras before she slumped at the finish line. Nonetheless, she couldn't shake the specter of her chat with Oprah Winfrey all week long. It was no laughing matter when Ripa questioned Winfrey about the retirement notice. As she peered at the entrance leading out of the building, the woman wanted to know if it was unlocked. It was wise of Winfrey to remain put because her voice mattered. On the other hand, it put a great deal of pressure on Kelly to perform. A lovely compliment and a golden pair of handcuffs, to be informed that you are an essential solace for folks in chemotherapy hospitals or lonely living rooms. A work becomes a duty because of it, whether deliberate or unplanned. This getaway felt like a minor defiance of that obligation, an experiment in a world where she wasn't expected to be the first person someone spoke to upon waking up. The importance of Mark Consuelo to this story is immense. He has had to master the complexities of being a husband and co-host since replacing Ryan Seacrest.